Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, Leo King, and Craig Skidmore here for Deep Love Tarot, your weekly love horoscope for the week of October 26th through November the 1st of 2020. This is the week of the full moon in Taurus, Venus back into Libra after it hasn't been here since last year, and Mercury Retrograde coming back into Libra as well. So it's going to be a major relationship week and a big wild week when it comes to big changes, especially this is an exact full moon with Uranus. If you never watched the show, check out highvibe.tv. This is the exclusive spiritual network, which of course we do here at the High Vibe TV studios, but we have apps that you can find out all down below, or of course our website, highvibe.tv, to be a member to get exclusive content, daily video horoscopes, and much more other daily content. We have so many awesome talent, including all of my content, so we just added even more talent. We have so much awesome content every day, every week, every month. Special paid videos like the one I just did, Climax 2020. You can purchase it right now. It's all about what is happening right now from now until the end of this year and these major transits that are finishing and what this whole entire 2020 was all about. And it's a piggyback on the last three paid videos I did, Battle of the Gods, which you can still purchase, of course. Going back to also 2020, What's Next, and going back to my Destiny's Call, which was exactly a year right now, and the predictions I made about 2020 that all have come true. So go to highvibe.tv, click on the paid video section and watch it. And if you're a member of High Vibe, then you can watch the Full Disclosure, which was last week, which was the after show that we did exclusive, where I went even deeper into questions from everybody that they had, and there was a lot of information in there as well. Mr. Craig Skidmore, it's his birthday. How you doing today, brother? How's your birthday going?
What up, what up, what up, y'all? Just another Monday night here in the studios. It just happens to be my special day. Shout out to our boy Dwight, too.
How is Dwight?
It's Dwight's birthday as well.
Oh, wow.
We got to meet him at a lovely show out there in Colorado we did a few years back on that tour. So happy birthday to Dwight also. Happy birthday to our girl Hillary, too.
Yeah, Dwight and Craig, you guys got Hillary?
Hillary, happy birthday, girl.
She had quite the birthday today.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, that's all I got to say about that. But I do want to say to Dwight, what's up, dude? Happy birthday, bro. I'll never forget Denver, me going outside to have a smoke break and meeting you, and the universe brought us together and talked for, I think I was almost late to the show because of you, but it was worth it, dude. You're a cool dude and really enjoy having you as a friend and soul brother in this life. So you never watched the show before. We're going to go into all 12 zodiac signs, but before we do that, we're going to do a collective reading. I'm going to throw away this apple juice. We're going to do collective reading. I'm going to do the astrology, and then I'm going to do all the cards. So this show, of course, is a tarot show, but I do mix it with the astrology for the collective reading. And then we do pull your zodiac signs from a brand new, exclusive, High Vibe,
I love gold,
Platinum Club. We also have new, and the Libra has made now all the zodiac signs all the same size and printed them out. So we've got some order coming on. And so you never know which order this is going to go. So of course, when we reach 1,000 people live in the chat is when we do the 1K collective love reading. And I just say we jump into this right now. Collective. I should get in the chat. We also do look at the chat and see what's popping with peeps. Like I'm going to right now. What a day. I told Craig before we were doing this, and it's his birthday. Maybe it's because it's birthday. I don't know what it is, but it feels like it's like the night of like a weird holiday or something. Very weird energy. We're also having major fires, like literally like miles away from here. And Craig and I, the city we lived in, grew up in, is on fire right now. So much love to all of our friends that are from Irvine to all parts of Tustin and Orange, and even all the way, it is the Silverado Canyon area. So all the, back there, Jabugo Canyon, all that. So the full moon week in Taurus, while Venus comes into Libra, its home sign, and Mercury retrograde leaves Scorpio, and comes into Libra. So this show is about love. And I want to say that with the sun in Scorpio, with the exact opposition to Uranus on Halloween of all days, to have a full moon meet exactly on Uranus is, I was saying in the sun sign horoscopes I just did this week, to one of the signs I said, but it reminds me of going to a club and taking the champagne bottle and shaking it up and then popping the top off. And what makes this very unique for love this week, especially too, is, this Mercury retrograde that's been finishing here in Scorpio and then moving into Libra, it's been searching for buried treasure. And then now we come into a Venus in Libra and Mercury, and it's going to bring a whole different load. There's a lot to weigh out. There's a lot of questions, of course, Mercury retrograde. This is also, remember, Mercury retrograde coming over the position exactly in the zodiac of all the same degrees of where Venus retrograded from October to November of 2018. So there's a lot of those reoccurring themes popping up and looking at how you dealt with your life then with relationships and understanding how to deal with this different. And now here comes Venus into Libra to kind of even bring that even more potent. So this is going to be one of those weeks that's going to blow your mind, blow your emotional and sense of self with relationships, and take it to where it's like out of nowhere we're starting to really not only find this buried treasure we've been looking for with love, and sometimes the buried treasure is something that we don't predict. That's with Uranus. So it's one of those things where we're dealing a lot with people. It's a full moon in Taurus, exalted, meaning it's in one of its best places. It's sturdy there in Taurus. It wants to find the value. And it's not a typical Halloween. Halloween is very scorpionic, and this is the opposite. It's a full moon in Taurus. So it's bringing in, more of that not so dark vibe, it is bringing in this light vibe. And with Uranus there, it's bringing in this really random, electricity that's going to be all about the connecting to the people that really, we all are in our own independent world of what we call our buried treasure and what treasure is. And I think that this is a moment for us to find people who align with us in the same values, align with us in the same energy, the same similar energy, vibrationally, emotionally, with what we call that treasure, while at the same time, partnership comes up big with Mercury retrograde in Libra and Venus in Libra. I mean, this is where it really is about who really does work and who does it. And so this is going to change the script really fast, constantly throughout this week. We also are seeing Jupiter and Pluto getting much closer. And so that conjunction that's happening in November is going to be a big one, the third and final pass of Jupiter and Pluto conjunct. So we have massive changes, and we are about 3 weeks away from Mars coming direct. So there is, and it is going to be major to see. It's actually less. If it's, what's today? Is it 4 degrees? So to 23 degrees on the 2 weeks, actually. It'll be about 2.5 from where we're talking right now. But we have this full moon this weekend, and then a new moon in Scorpio. Mars comes direct right before that new moon happens, same day. And that's a launch pad. So this is us really making sure everything's kosher, everything's in the right. We got to know. We don't want to waste our time either. And we overweigh things out. Mercury retrograde can do that and become indecisive. And this is not a time to be indecisive. It's just a time to be reflective, of course. But this is Sun in Scorpio. This is a Mars retrograde. This is now Mercury moving into a Venus ruled energy and out of a Mars ruled energy, and Venus is in its home sign. So our minds need to focus on a planet that is direct, it's in its home sign, it's dignified, and that gives us the only real chance of, in love, to make some really powerful and awesome things, because it's a little difficult with Mars retrograde when the Mercury retrograde is in Scorpio, because it's a Mars ruled sign. But with Venus being in Libra, and with also a full moon in Taurus, which is Venus ruled, and Venus being in its home sign, this is majorly about the real justice and the balance and the true harmony of partnership and love, and the edge, of course, that comes with this full moon of the light and the dark and the beauty of the contrast of both. It reminds me of Eagles, like One of These Nights. It's just like that song to me. It's just like out of nowhere, one of these nights, one of these crazy old nights. You're just going to find out if you find that person, or one of those crazy nights, you're going to realize you're not supposed to be with that person too. Maybe, it's not the I don't know, it's not the daughter of the devil himself, and it's not an angel in white, you know? I mean, there's definitely that energy coming in with a little bit of witchy woman too. So let's see what's going on with the cards for this week. First card we got is the Knight of Swords in reversed. Well, we definitely are either hesitant of rushing into situations. We need to think about the rush, but we're going to go deeper into this. But this is definitely like, okay, there's a pause. I don't know if I should rush in to save the day. I don't know if I should rush in too fast into relationships because of the mind. The mind's unsure of whether or not it really wants to go after things. And that can become a bit of a stall in relationships. Or it could be people who are rushing into things they know they shouldn't, right? Like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. But it's like, oh. So we're going to find out more clarity. The challenge that we got here is, wow, the 8 of Pentacles in reversed. So it's like anything that just doesn't operate or work. This is a new deck, by the way. We got it from Christy Joyce. Thanks again for all your cool decks that you send us. So, wow. I mean, this is us not feeling like we're aligned with the people who understand, or anybody that is not in alignment on the same page, in the same projects, the same mission, and the same goals, and the same ability to go create what we want to create in love and happiness. If it's not there, it's not there. So anything non-operational and anything that just doesn't feel like the same values or creating the same energy, there's a definite no. But when I see this opposition, I see that means that there's going to be a flip where there is. So it's like we have to pay more attention to what isn't and cutting that off so we can know what is. The way that we get through that 8 of Pentacles in reverse, we've got the Ace of Pentacles upright. So yeah, this is us ascending to a whole new reality. Once we get out of the non-operational, the non-functioning, or, you know, it's like funny when you register your car, you can register your car as non-operational. You know, you don't pay a registration fee. It's kind of like, you know, if the motor's not running and the seatbelts are broken and the taillights are out, it's like, are you really going to pay the registration on this thing and keep working on it and even keep going to it every day, but not doing any work to it? Like, no, it's time to go maybe trade it in or sell it. And I'm not saying that we sell our relationships away, but, you know, there's that energy of us going, we want to ascend to something that's beautiful and graceful and that has the abundance and has the physical, even attraction and the workings, though, because this is with the 8 of Pentacles reversed, something that really works and something that really makes sense. Why did we get that Knight of Swords reversed? We got the Strength card. Wow. So, you know what? We're hesitant because we don't have the strength to do it because if it's not working or it's not, something's off. But we need to have the strength to still have that really powerful edge to jump into things that do. So it's like a reminder that you might be hesitant in some places this week with certain people or relationship, but that doesn't mean to not have the strength to still jump in excitingly for the things that you really want in your life, right? It's almost like a reminder, I feel like. Have that strength to go for the ultimate love. Don't risk it all by staying in the hesitant place and having just the strength to do that. I would say you'd be wasting your time, big time. That 3 of Pentacles is met with the Sun card. Wow. So, you know, our true authentic self needs to align with other people that are in their true authentic self. And that's, I think, going to be easy to find. If you notice, we got 3 reversals and we got 3 uprights. So that's why I was feeling that. I said it before. I feel like there's this whole grand story of just this whole new reality for relationships, this awesome strength and togetherness and divine unions that really are in their divine true selves. But we can't mirror people that aren't really in what we are looking for anymore, because we are not that person anymore. It's not going to work this week at all. And the way that we get through that is the overall, I got on top, I got Divine Feminine with, wow, 5th house of love. Wow. So, you know, there's that energy of the Divine Feminine. It's that the moon, right? That's supporting the sun, that supports, there's that supportive element, and that supportive element, that beautiful element of love and creativity and just true happiness. And there's that dramatic, positive, feminine, loving, nurturing, exciting, and wanting to come together. The feminine wants to bind. And so I would say that this is about what's binding in love. You know, like what, I don't know why the vampire deck just popped up, but it's like, you know, it's like what's binding with love? Like it's almost like she's looking for somebody to just completely bind with in life. And if that's not something that she feels or that other person feels towards her, right? It's like not going to work out. Like this has to be like where it's like, yeah, I'm willing to hold this love fully. If it's like, no, I'm not really wanting to, I'm just kind of still playing around and trying to figure it out, it's going to go into nothing. And we got Pluto and Capricorn in the 9th house. So, I mean, this is definitely telling us in order to achieve what we want, we do need to open up our doors. We need to understand to continue to look, and we have belief systems that have rules about them or have some sort of weird, I would say, definitely blocks that are observational or perspective blocks that are needing to be destroyed. And we need to get to the bottom of exploring the best by making risks and taking choices. We also need to have boundaries that we understand of making choices what's the best for us to expand into what we really want to, instead of stay limited. We can't stay limited. We have to expand and take the risk to expand.
Yeah, and with taking that risk, you know, and that expansion, it does come down to exploring. It comes down to exploring that depths of yourself. It comes down to, looks like my mic is extremely low. Comes down to exploring yourself as well, you know, and what you're capable of and what your partner is capable of as well. You know, do you have that love really truly within yourself? Are you capable of you know, portraying the love and actually giving the love out? You know, because that's also what it comes down to. Are you capable of giving the love? And that's kind of knowing yourself, knowing your boundaries, knowing your limitations, and really getting to know yourself and looking within before you kind of put it out there into the world.
Yeah, because I think it's not worth to put anything out there into the world when we've already vetted it and it's not it. It's like, you know, we're talking about, it's a presidential election next week, right? They vet their vice president always, whenever a candidate comes. It's like, you know, everybody has to go through that hard choice. Like Joe Biden, for example, had to go through a hard choice, right? He had to determine that he had to pick, you know, his vice presidential candidate. Same thing, Trump had to do it. Everybody has to do it, right? We have to go through a vetting process, and it's something in life where it's like, if it's just not going to work out, if it's not going to meant to be that way, it could cause us to not be happy. And so this is definitely, I would say, like you said, like what we put out there in the world of our life that we want. And it's okay to, I feel like it's okay to go through that process though, but there comes a point to where it's like, how much more vetting is there? And that once we make a choice, whether it's to end or start something, that's how we ascend to the new energy. So thanks for that, Mr. Birthday Boy. All right, this is the first time we've picked from here. So I have no idea, you know, it's like, no idea. Although everything's like stuck together. Taurus comes first. Look at this, the new high five cup, and Tauruses always feel like they get last, and here they are first. That's what happens when you change things up in life. It's like we changed the high vibe cup and we changed the little zodiac signs, and look at that. Taurus goes first. All right, let's see what we got for you going this week, Taurus, in the cards. We did pull the 9 of Wands upright. This is you really understanding your value. You're knowing that you can attract and bring in the love in the universe that you want, that it's all around you. It's abundant around you. It's kind of interesting. This is a bunny rabbit flipping off the camera. But I think it's just because it knows it's, you know, enjoying itself, and maybe it doesn't want to be looked at, or I don't know. But I feel still though, you know, this 9 of Wands. For some reason I was in Pentacles just because I was in the flowers. 9 of Wands is, you know, putting up the defenses. So, but I got a feeling though, if you drop the defenses, then you get everything you want from the universe. It's weird how that happens, right? I just was channeling 9 of Pentacles to you, and then it's actually 9 of Wands, and I'm like, oh wait, hold on a second. Why is the bunny flipping off? Okay. Why are you pushing people away, Taurus? You have abundance waiting for you. You have a whole universe waiting for you. Your challenge through this is the 7 of Cups in reversed. You're missing out on so many options. I think you're too hyper-focused on just one area of your life. You might just be focused on one person and still trying to figure something out, but the universe is saying that that's a problem. Like you need to open up new doors, new options, new prizes. Look at all the prizes. I think that, there's something about you being closed off right now and you need to open up. Put the Hierophant reversed. I mean, I think overall, I think you're over the same traditions and you're over the same kind of energy that you've been in. But I think that this is also you pulling your loyalty away to some sort of energy that you've been defending too much, and you need to go explore your other options out, and you need to not feel bad about it. You pulled the Four of Cups. Look at that. It's like the universe is telling you, it's like, even if you do go explore, it's almost like you feel like, well, it's not good enough. I think that you're having issues with everything is not good enough. Everybody's not good enough. Everybody doesn't have the ability to do it, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I think that that's a pretty serious thing. For that to be the spiritual way to get through it, Four of Cups, owie. I'm going to say that that's a little extreme. That Spirit's coming through and saying, Taurus, like, it's time to really like start accepting the best things like that are there, but there's, I don't know whether it's excuses that come up or, it's like you're really in a push away mode. I'm going to pull one card for that. Page of Cups reversed. Yeah. You're feeling, you need to remember that you need to go have some fun, and it needs to be fun. And I think that you're taking things really a little bit too seriously. And I think that you're expecting people to show up in certain ways emotionally, but they are, and you're not showing back up the same way. And then you wonder why they leave or why you have to put your defenses up. Why are you putting your defenses up? Wow, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I thought that was the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles pops up just in reverse. Self-worth issues, not thinking that you're abundant enough, not even thinking maybe you're good looking enough. You might be having issues deeply with your vanity energies right now. And I know that's a very like dark word, or it's not the highest vibe word, but it's not that you need to be vain, but you need to know that you're beautiful, and you need to know that you got it. And I think that you're putting defenses up, and I think that you're worried also too, and I'm just picking this up for some Tauruses. You might be worried about entering because then you feel like maybe you'll enter a relationship and then you'll feel like your partner might leave you for somebody that's better looking, or maybe you get triggered by that, or you're dealing with a partner that you feel like there's the wandering eye. And so your defenses are up. But I think it's like, that just creates more, that you attract more of that by owning that energy. And I think that you need to pull out of that. That Hierophant's popped up in reverse because you got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. You're trying to control destiny and you're trying to be God. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not working at all. And I think that you need to surrender more to Spirit and let Spirit come in and let that love in. I mean, that's the main message. You got the Knowledge card. Yeah, it's time. You don't know. You need to look at all the blank pages. Like you have a lot of pages here to fill up. And your overall with that is void off course moon. You know what? There's something missing because you're not willing to open the pages and write new stories. And you're continuing to, I think, look back at the old stories, continuing to stay in the same patterns, not willing to open up to new options. And that's a big problem. I even pulled an extra card for you. You got the 5th house, Mercury, Sag. Yeah, it's time for you to open up your mind. It's time for you to communicate. It's time to go have fun. And it's time to go have an adventure. And I think that your mind is constantly searching for love instead of constantly being in the adventure of love and the environment of love. And I think that there's a big difference from just staying outside the gates or walking in.
Yeah, and sometimes we need that lack of control. Sometimes we kind of need to let go of the reins and just explore a bit. Sometimes we need to let the universe bring things into our lives, whether those are, turn out to be good, productive, or, they can be challenging as well. But at least they're brought into your life for a lesson for you to learn, And learning that self-appreciation is a giant key in being able to progress forward in this life, be able to progress forward in any relationships that you think that you're capable of having or that you want to have in your life. As long as you're being honest to yourself, as long as you're pushing forward on this mission that you feel that you're being called to, that's going to be the right case. There's going to be obviously some speed bumps along the way where it might knock you off or might lead you down the wrong path for a bit. But as long as you get back on that, as long as you, again, find yourself through the struggles and find yourself through the greatness, it's all going to work out in the long run.
Yeah, because I think that when things work out, things eventually do work out in the long run. But how long? It's almost like I'm flipping that script a little bit. Like, you could also be on a long run of blocking. And it's like, maybe sometimes you need to open up to be able to get on the long run of life. Like, instead of the long run of the same story. I feel like this is like the long run of the same stories. And I think that there's a lot of deep internal need to change that within. It's not the external. It's not the people you keep attracting, or it's not it's definitely internal. I don't know. What do you feel about that?
The internal battle. Yeah, definitely. I think it is coming down to a self-worth issue. Coming down to maybe the belief that you're not capable of having what it is that you actually want. Oh, what the F's up this damn volume. But just keep progressing forward. Keep opening those doors. Keep knocking down whatever it is that comes into your way, and keep pushing forward. Not in like a battle type of manner, but at least just on that divine mission that that you're on.
Yeah, on your mic, you might want to open it up. There's a way to turn the mic down or up by holding that one button that has the plus. It might be on the down side. Or the batteries are dead, or they're dying.
Check.
There you are.
I'm just going to hold it.
What?
I'm going to hold it. I'm going mic in hand tonight. Seems to be.
All right, who's next?
Can you all hear me out there? Check. Hello.
We got Capricorns. Got the good old Cappies. When caps are ready, caps are ready. All right, let's see what's going on in the Capricorn world right now. We got the Hermit reversed. I think that you have been contemplating a lot in relationships of what to do next, but it's time to get out. Either get out with the decision that you've been making, or get out of the rut that you've been in. There's definitely a rut you've been in. You've got the knowledge now to deal with it. It's time to take action upon it. Your challenge that you've got this week is the Two of Swords reversed. That's the challenge is I think that you've been in a cross section that you just keep being at this intersection that you feel blindfolded at. You don't know which direction to go. Although the challenge is that's over, but you're still doing it. You're hesitating when you have everything that you need to know. There's no more data that you need to know. You need to change the environment up now. It's time to change things up. You get the Five of Pentacles upright. It says that, this is a card that feels like the victim. Like it's being taken, in this card, like some beast is like taking you down, but it's almost like she's allowing it. Like, I feel like you're kind of playing the victim and or you're letting a partner kind of take advantage of you and you're being victimized from it. And it's time to, I think, make a change about that and set the boundaries straight. You did pull the Three of Cups. It's time to go have a good time. I don't know why. I feel like you've been bound and trapped in your own mind and you haven't been having a good time. And I feel like it's time to go have a good time with love. You might be being a Capricorn, like, I'm having fun with doing my thing. Okay, or I'm having fun in my relationship, but really not my relationship, like some other thing. It's time to go find a partner, or if your partner doesn't have a good time, go have a good time with friends. Go to party, even though I know it's, it's crazy, weird world they're trying to scare everybody with right now. But you all know how I feel about that. You have the Seven of Cups reversed. Look at this. You have this Hermit trying to tell you to come out. I think you know exactly what prize you really want, but you're too afraid to do it. It's like you're just kind of continuing to look at the prizes, and that needs to end. You need to actually go towards what you want to do. I feel like this is all about go what you want to do. You're stalling. It's a constant stall. You pulled the Strength card. You need to have the strength to get out of a situation where you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or you're dealing with somebody who is a victim. I got a feeling that Capricorns are dealing with somebody who's, I don't know, sometimes victims are just like they have a self-worth issue, or they can't get things done, or they just can't find the way to make money, or they're relying on you too much and they're taking energy from you, and you need to have the strength to pull yourself away. I also feel that this is Capricorns that are doing that to themselves, and you need to have the strength to stop doing that in yourself. Your overalls that you got is the shadow. Okay, so your shadow, you might be dealing with a partner and that's a shadow, or you might be single and you're dealing with the shadows that you're too afraid to grip with, and that's what you're getting over. And look at that. You have to go. Aries, I felt it. I felt that strong call to take action. Let's go. No more hermiting. No more staring at the clouds and all that shit. Like, it's time to just like deal with it. But you have shadows that you still haven't been dealing with, and you're dealing with an inner victim in a partner and in yourself. I would say both. You're dealing with Neptune in the second house with Gemini. So I think that, you're trying to figure everything out to have the life that you want. But I think that you're going to have to go over your subconscious issues. I think you're going to have to go through a lot of the things that maybe you've painted a bunch of pictures in your head of how it should look, and then it doesn't come that way. And again, reality and our life in our heads are two different things. So I would say that the values that maybe you have set upon to have to be re-examined from a place that, that's hard. I'll be honest. Neptune and Gemini is not happy there at all. It's just fact-checking constantly. And I think that there's a lot of hidden elements that you need to see within yourself. It's also how you communicate your values, that maybe you're too sensitive to say what you want to say, and you can't be sensitive anymore. You got to say it.
Yeah, we all get kind of put into situations where, we can become the victim very easily without even knowing it. But it's once we acknowledge that, it's once we actually figure out that we are in a situation that's not for us, that's when we can no longer be the victim anymore. You can't just willingly be the victim. So once you realize that about the situations that you're in, or even about yourself, you could be allowing yourself to just kind of wallow in that pity, to just not progress forward. But what is it that you really want? Do you just want to stick in the mud? Is that what you want to be? I don't think it is. So it's acknowledging that with inside yourself, the greatness that you want, even if the individual there that is with you that you might thought was great, but turns out that they're shit. That happens too. So once it's that knowing in yourself and you can't willingly allow yourself to go about it any further, that's when the transcendence is going to come into your life. That's when the belief is going to come to your life, and that's when the love is going to show up into your life. But you have to acknowledge it.
Yeah, because that victim thing doesn't work unless you acknowledge that you're the victim. Like, we all are victims, so it's not pointing out that we all go through it in ourselves, right? We could sometimes being a victim could just be like a victim to the most basic circumstances, right? Just like, I don't know, sometimes I could be like the stupidest thing, like I'll leave one pair of shoes in one room and another pair in the other, and it's the wrong pair of shoes, and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to walk all the way over there and put on these shoes with no socks, and I don't know, it's a stupid thing, but that creates, it's like little things that we can create. Or if in a relationship, somebody who's taking from us because they don't have the ability to figure it out, and you keep supporting them, and then they kind of take advantage of it, or there's a lot of things here that have to be addressed, and they have to be acknowledged, and then go towards the way that you want it to do, and just get out of that victim role. I mean, I like Forrest Gump when he's dealing with Lieutenant Dan, and Lieutenant Dan's just playing the victim the whole time, and Forrest Gump's there the whole time, doing it, and finally Lieutenant Dan gets it. But that's not every story, you know what I mean? And it's not like Forrest got it done in a day, or he got it done in a month, or he got it done in a year, or he got it done in so many years. And in many ways, it was at the end of the day, Lieutenant Dan who had to figure it out, not Forrest Gump. You know what I mean? Even though he gave Forrest Gump the credit, it was still a very internal journey of pain that Lieutenant Dan went through. And I feel like Capricorns are dealing with somebody who's like a Lieutenant Dan, while at the same time mirror reflecting inside themselves a Lieutenant Dan within themselves. Bomb drop. Fucking like, woo! Lieutenant Dan. I want to say that I love Lieutenant Dan. I think he's one of the best characters in Forrest Gump. Definitely a good character. Well, I'm saying
who do we got next?
Character in a movie. Not like he's a good character or something. I don't know. He has parts of him. At the very end, he comes to the wedding, and he's like, cancers. I wonder what sign Lieutenant Dan would be. I think Lieutenant Dan would be a Pisces, because the character, because of the fact that it's about his family and the past, and he drinks a lot, and he gets lost, and he ends up swimming when he finds God. Had a little Constantine moment there. All right, let's see what's going on with you all, Cancers. Queen of Wands upright. All right. That's a great card. You're not feeling like the idiot anymore, Cancer. Especially for you this week. I mean, you should watch your Sun Sign horoscopes on highvibe.tv, especially all this this full moon's dealing definitely with your 5th house, 11th house, but also you got major 7th house stuff popping. So I think that you know exactly what to do with love, but I think that the question is, are you ready to really do it? Your challenge about that is the World card reverse. You're having a difficult time ending an old world and starting a new one. Look at the World on this deck. Oh my gosh, it's coming down. Here's that reversal. It's like you're afraid for the reset of a new, better love story. You know the power that you have of the love that you want to have, but I think that you feel like it's going to end your world, but you're going to create the world that you really want. You got the King of Cups upright. Yeah, this is you maintaining and understanding the connection in your deep emotions and understanding that you have the emotions to do what you need to do and to not be fearful, to gallop towards the emotions that you want to feel in your life. You deserve it. You need it. You're Cancer, and especially all this Venus and Mercury retrograde stuff in Libra in your 4th house. I mean, it's time to really have that feeling that you need and that support and that security that you really want to have. But you got some sort of world that you're still connected to that's got to end in order for that to happen. You did pull you got the Knight of Swords upright. It's time to rush into this and get this fixed fast. It's kind of crazy because the Knight of Swords is like the only one that rushes in. And this is like Archangel Michael, that literally rushes in to save the day, right? And it's like saving the day from this world that's falling apart that you just have to like bail out and let the cycle end. Stop sitting on the credits. Like, cut the tape, move on. Why are you feeling so confident? Why is that Queen of Wands popping up? Look at you, pulled the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands. Wow, you know exactly what you want in your heart, and you know exactly what's going to stimulate you and which way to go. I mean, you have an amazing reading here. You pulled the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, though. I think that your fear overall about really finally galloping into the world, the emotions, and having this really sure bet is the sure bet that the foundation that you once relied on as security or feeling like abundance, this is very home-like, the 10 of Pentacles. It's creating the castle, basically, is upside down, but that's okay because it's like that castle didn't work. It's time for new rocks for the crab to grab onto. You know, crabs need to move on. New coral reefs, new piers to barnacle to. You've got the spiritual cleansing, so you're going to clear a lot if you just clear out this old story. I don't think that this is like a general overall spiritual cleansing, although I think that happens by just ending something in a relationship or single people ending this pattern that you keep doing or still seeing that one negative person or still attached. I feel like this is dealing with somebody that you keep having that question of on and off, on and off, on and off, and they have been constantly in your life and they have brought you a lot of, you got to look at your life, that your life is going always in the weirder directions the more they're involved. And how long they've been involved. You pulled the Mercury retrograde card. Interesting that it's coming back into your 4th house. It's time for you to get to the truth of your emotional sense, and honestly, it's the reinvention. It's the reinvention of yourself. It's a new environment. It's you communicating in a new way. It's you coming into understanding in a different way. That maybe the relationship situation that just keeps going bad is actually creating an environment where you do need to spiritual cleanse it. You got Archangel Michael here. There's definitely a lot about the power that you have, but if you're not willing to, I'm going to just say cut the cord. That's what Michael does. and he's on top of the world, and he's here to rush in to save the day as the Knight of Swords in this deck. Man, you could have everything you've ever wanted in this new paradigm of your love story, but by not doing it, I would say that it'd become really toxic, and not Britney Spears fun toxic. 10th house, Sag, Venus. Well, yeah, you're going to have to make some big decisions about your long-term goals, and your career could explode by just the right relationship, and the one that's in the same belief systems, and also that's an ever-expanding person. And so it's time for you to open up your options, but of course keep it limited to the ones that, the direction that you want to go and the kind of character that you want to have. I think that you're dealing with somebody whose character is not what they say they are. They don't know how to hold the reputation of the character that they are. And I think that you know the reputation of the kind of character that you want out of somebody, and it's time to go towards that kind of person.
And you can't have the fear of loss either. You know, you can't have the fear of love, and you can't have the fear of loss. You know, and the greatness is going to come through you. The healing is going to come through you. It's not going to come through another individual. It starts with you. You know, and so having that confidence in yourself that you are capable, that you are worthy of having that love, that you can't even be afraid of losing that love because you'll miss out on it entirely. You know, and that's the love of yourself as well. Looking at that self-doubt, looking at the I can't do it, you know, that is a form of bringing yourself down, of lowering your vibration. Are you going to radiate positivity so that you can bring positivity into your life, or are you going to be stuck in fear and fear-based and live in that fear? You know, you have the power, you have the beauty, you have the wisdom to go out and get it, to go out and get that individual, to go out and actually make that relationship happen and thrive. You know, but there can be those steps where we kind of mislead ourselves and kind of fuck it up. You know, when it didn't need to happen that way, you know, because it was that doubt. We allowed that doubt to creep into our mind. We allowed that doubt saying that we weren't worthy of having that, or that we just have that fear of losing the love, so we don't let that love in to begin with, you know. But you can't be afraid of that. So let that love shine in if it is there. You know, if you are witnessing it unfold in front of you, welcome that love. Give that love a big old hug. How about that?
Yeah, because if you are in a place, and I'm reading in the chat with people, it's so interesting to read that, I mean, it really does come down to life is love. And I think that all the things that you brought up right now, it's like, I think that we can do a disservice to ourselves by continuing on loving things that, it's not that they're not lovable anymore, it's just that they're not part of making ourselves happy. And they're not really doing the things in life that really make us feel good in the end, because it almost feels like it's like we're carrying a load that's just too much. And I feel like that's hard, and it's hard to break. It's hard to be a heartbreaker, right? It's not easy to be a heartbreaker. But are you going to break your own heart constantly? Like when you that's the irony, is we think that we get our heart broken. We're the ones who choose to get our heart broken by usually staying in the scenario we already know we're going to get heartbroken. That's how it happens. You know, the writing's always on the wall. It's like the universe always gives the writing on the wall. Like, this is not going to work out. But then we say, no, it can. No, yes, it can. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And then boom, we're like surprised when it happens. But there's always that trickle down of like, we knew the writing was there. We knew. And so it's like, how long do we want to make it to where it feels like it's, okay, I fell off the side of my bicycle or my skateboard, or now I'm off the cliff in my car, floating, like landing in the ocean, and, you know, now it's sinking, and you know, I got to break the window out. Like, how far do we make it till the heartbreak's that extreme? And sometimes it's like hard to heartbreak somebody else, opposed to be heartbroken yourself by knowing you're going to have to do it anyway and just continuing it. And that's disservice to somebody else, and it's disservice to yourself most. That's a hard one, though. I mean, that's, I think, the hardest thing in life right there, because life is love and love is love. And, you know, it's not easy, you know, when it just is not in the true alignment of our inner happy and our inner love. Because if our inner love isn't there, and we're trying to see that outside and externally of ourselves through something that's not working, it's just not gonna do the right thing. It's not gonna turn out good. We got Sagittarius next. So that's what I gotta say about that. Sag is I'm in that chat if you don't know. And we're getting close to that 1,000 so we can do that 1,000 collective. But you guys got to share those videos, get it out there. Let's go. Let's go. I know it's a sensitive subject, but, you know, Trump pushed through a Supreme Court justice tonight and did 3 rallies, and they pushed it through. You know what I mean? Like, whoa. So, y'all can push it through. Let's see what's going on for the Sages this week. Wow, Sun card. Sag is on fire this week. Lighten up your true self again. It's like you're finding who you really are. Now, this is going to affect your relationship reading very intensely because when the Sun card shows up, bam, it's exciting to be back into the self. You know, being in your, and you know, typical Sag loves to go out in the sun, have a good time, wear sunglasses, put on a shirt that says French fries. Yeah, baby. But it's like, okay, how does that affect your partnership? Do they not like it when you're in that self? Or is that going to attract the partner that you want? We're definitely going to find out a lot about this. You did pull the Knight of Wands as your challenge. Ooh, wow. So it's almost like you're afraid once you find yourself to leap into the real love story that you want. It's almost like maybe that'll hurt someone because you're going to go where you really want to go. Sagittarius put themselves in really weird situations where they really want to leap. But, you know, this is like, well, if I leap being my true self, will that change my partnership? You know, you can never control a Sag. So if you're dating a Sag out there, if you're a cross-watcher of this and you're watching, you know, your partner's a Sag or something, or you like a Sag, like, you know, if you're going to try and control who they are and everything, you're doing the biggest disservice to humanity and to anybody in any sign. But really with Sages, they kind of have been going through a lot of those kind of situations. So there's something stunting you from being that true self, even though you're in that true self again. Well, you got the 9 of Pentacles in reversed. I mean, that's a self-worth issue. I mean, it's almost like you don't want to fail. You don't want it to go wrong. You don't want something to happen, you know, but you have to realize that the universe and the abundance of it is going to show up when you show up in that true authentic self and you leap towards it. How do you get through that challenge? Well, you got the meditation card reversed. It's like, I think that's the issue. I think that you're over meditating on to leap for happiness, like of what makes you happy. You know, this is not love. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be the most frank I can be, especially to a Sag with Aries as your 5th house and Mars retrograde there. And Chiron there. Let's be real. We do not meditate on love. We do not just sit and meditate on, should I be with this person or not? I'm going to go into deep meditation about it. Anybody who tells me that, I'm just like, later. You know why? Because the heart automatically is you. It is your essence of your soul. It is your true self, and you fucking know it, and you do it. That's not something that is a constant. The sun is a constant meditation of just truth, and it's just accessible at any moment, your heart. You don't meditate about your heart. So this reversal of the meditation card is like, I think that's your issue, is you're like treating love as if it's like some spiritual fucking like, I don't know, like some like way of, I don't know. Like yoga. Like, no, it's not yoga. Like, it is straight you and your fire and go for it and leap for it and stop doing the whole, I got to see how this is going to affect this and I got to meditate and ask my guides if they, no, like your heart and that fire, that's God within you. That is your guides within you. Wow, you pulled the magician card upright with the sun card. You are the magician to go create it. And that's connected to the divine. And then you understand from as above and so below, and you were that conduit in between. So why would you have to sit and create this false, weird spiritual, like, well, let me do the right spiritual thing about my own happiness. Well, it's about doing it, not about contemplating it. Got the 3 of Wands. Time for a whole new world. It's time to move on to awesome new territories. There's a whole new adventure in your life. Take that new adventure. What are you doing, Sag? But you don't have that self-worth, that self-confidence right now. It's like you're doubting yourself. You got to stop doubting, and you got to realize that it's not a whirlpool. This is going to take you to the different world that you want to go, because being stuck in this tower with this whirlpool, that's your only way through. It's through the portal. I think that you are about to enter portals, but you got to have the confidence to walk through those portals and realize it's a better thing. If you were in sliders and finally the time portal popped up to see if you can get back home, are you going to just sit in that world where, you know, instead of cars, they have horses and weird shit? That's some old slider shit. Look at this. You got release as your overall. On top of that, ooh, with the Oracle stuff here. Owie! It's time to cut something goodbye. Wow. There's 2 ways to read this. At one time, it was a big blessing. that you're having to release. That's why it's hard, but it's not a blessing anymore. And this time, by releasing it, you will access the blessings that were truly meant to have at this moment, that are the magical ones in your true self, because what you were releasing are blessings, but they brought you to away from yourself, and they brought you away from the magician you are, and you need to go back into that person and get the blessings that you wanted. So it's a win-win, but it's hard for you to see that because that's why you're trying to contemplate it so much. Oh, Astrodice. Mars and Aries in the first. It's all about what you want, baby. It's all about what you're going to do. It's all about what you're going to show up and you're going to define, and you're going to say, yes, this is who I am. This is what I want. And this is what I'm getting for. So it's time. Let's go. I'm like pumping the Sages up, and Sages seem to think I always don't like their readings and all that shit, and I talk shit on them. I'm like, fuck no, I fucking love Sag. I'm fucking Leo.
He fucking loves you, Sag. He's just like the fucking Leo.
Arr!
But are you going to own it? And that's what it comes down to. Are you going to own it? Are you going to own that power? Are you going to own that strength? Are you going to actually apply that Martian energy to your life and to these relationships and actually going out and getting it what you want? Or are you just going to sit back and kind of let it dwindle away? Are you going to let that flame extinguish itself? Are you going to let yourself, your passion extinguish itself? That's not going to be a healthy way to go, especially for you, Sag. So what it comes down to really is finding that passion, and believing in yourself and cutting cords, cutting loose that energetic process that's kind of holding you back. Where are you limiting your beliefs? Where are you limiting yourself? That's what you need to look at, and so that you can progress forward, so that you can actually go out, get that love, go out and get that fire, go out and get that flame, and go have yourself a damn good day, huh?
Go have yourself a damn good day.
Yep.
Because what else is there to have?
Exactly.
And you have to, like you said, you got to own it. And I said that, and it's like, you just got to own it, Sag. It's time to own it. Let's see what's going on in the High Vibe Gold Cup. Are we almost to 1,000? Oh, we're at 7. What is we lost the people? Is that
I don't
7?
know. The count is going weird. It says 714 in one, but then it says 195 in another. So I think it's a 717.
That's going to annoy people.
It's weird.
Still, let's go. Let's pump it up.
Ever since
Wake up, Moon and Pisces on Neptune. I know they all want to go to sleep land. Some people actually listen to this show, and fall asleep like as if we're like AMSR. What is that? ASMR? ASMR. Y'all want me to do ASMR in my voice like this? Aries is next. People write me on my Instagram or my Facebook all the time, oh, I listen to you fucking while I'm going to bed, and I fall asleep to it. And I'm like, when I get all crazy, they're like, yeah, there's something that I like about that. I'm like,
there you go.
Let's see what Aries got going on. The Lovers card, bing, bang, boom. It's all about love in this one. This is going to be another, like just Sages. Look at the fire signs like that we just did. We just did an Aries and we just did Sag. We just did Sag and now we're doing Aries. Oh, holy cow, this Lovers is insane. It's the ultimate card of love life. So this is extreme. It's literally out of all the decks and all the readings and all the world, this is going to be the big week about making a major decision in your love life. Your challenge this week is the High Priestess reversed. So if you're not going to follow your instincts and you're not going to follow what Spirit's telling you, you're not going to follow your gut, you're not going to follow what your gut doesn't, something doesn't feel right, don't do it. You're going to fuck up that relationship. You're going to fuck up that lover situation. Don't go against your gut. Don't go against what your inner soul is telling you, because you do not want to enter or continue in relationship energies where you're not following that gut. Your next card that you got is the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So something's not operating right. It's almost like the conveyor belt has kind of, I guess you could say like malfunctioned. And I would say that your gut knows why. So this is trying to understand this week in your love life how to get the conveyor belt to get working again, how to get back on track, or if that track's still available or not. Why did you get this High Priestess reverse? How do we get through it? The 5 of, this is the victim card, or just like settling for less because you feel like you don't deserve it. Although I feel that The High Priestess is picking up on, this is, energy that's, I'm going to be honest, Five of Pentacles is not an easy card in love. It's a, like I said, it's the victim card. It's like you might feel victimized, or you might feel like you're going to feel victimized even more if you're not following your gut. You're not following what your guides are saying. You're not following what the intuition's telling you, or you're putting yourself in a position where you're just denying yourself of your soul. I look at the High Priestess, especially in reverse, as not following the soul. And then that's going to leave you to even more feeling, sick, or, it's the card of homelessness and sickness and, pain and suffering. I don't think that you're here to go fix suffering in yourself or somebody else too. Because if you notice this card, she's petting a wolf that's not doing well. It's sick. She's then kind of becoming sick too. Wow, you got the World card reversed with the Lovers. So you're definitely there's a relationship situation that's not over, that you still are trying to understand fully, but it's almost like it came to the credits, and then are you just pushing rewind now and you want to just go play the end again? That's a big question. And what is your gut saying? And are you gonna go into victim mode, or are you gonna go take care of somebody, or are you trying to take care of yourself through the relationship? You did pull the Judgment card reversed. Off track, and then now not following the divine, and look at how it's actually not falling up, it's falling down in reverse here. So if you go off track this week in a relationship situation, and then you're not following your guidance, and the Judgment with the High Priestess reverse, you're not following what God's really in alignment to tell you what to do, and you're not following your soul guidance, and you're going against what you believe in your soul, like, it's not going to end out well. For others, I would say that this is closing out stories that just aren't working out for you, that they aren't working out for what you need and what you want in your life. You are dealing with Venus in Libra and a Mercury retrograde in Libra now. It's going to be extreme for you relationship-wise with the Mars retrograde in your sign. And Scorpio, 8th house, all your needs and your wants, and a full moon in Taurus. Your overalls that you picked is trust. Oh, so there's some trust issues going on here. A solar eclipse, a revolution. It's going to be a very dramatic week. And I would say that this is, the solar eclipse is like a cigar cutter in space, a magical one that comes in. And, it's funny, I watched The Mummy Returns last night. And when, that one's a little cheesy with the Scorpion King, but it's actually a really good movie. But when, like Inox and the Moon comes back, and she's trying to get back Imhotep, and when Imhotep comes back, he creates this solar eclipse. And they're like, his powers are getting greater. But that also, it changes things. And solar eclipses change things forever. If you look up, there's great books. There's actually an older astrologer named Bill Meridian. He has some great eclipse books out there. He handed it to me at UAC of 2018, a couple of his books. And I'd done a lot of eclipse studying, but his version of the eclipse studying, a lot of astrologers know this, but Bill Meridian did a good job. It really is. Like, you look at the Monica Lewinsky scandal with Bill Clinton, that was the eclipses in his sign. That was the North Node in Leo. She was a Leo, stuff like that. Like, when in this week, this is not normal. There's something about trust. There's something about something trying to end, and then there's a victim thing, and then it's like almost like willing to like sacrifice your soul for it, and you got to be careful. Taurus, Jupiter in the second house. So knowing your value and your worth is everything. Taurus is the second house, and Jupiter's there. And so it's like, if your value is not met on all areas, Jupiter, on all areas, then don't even mess with it, because you're not going to get any fortune. You're not going to get fortune. You're not going to get this buried treasure, getting off the treasure trail of what you really want and trying to make treasure out of fool's gold,
Speaking of judgment, I got this dope ass judgment shirt. Do you know who said that?
Justice, sure. Yeah, you're Justice.
Justice, yeah. Do you know who sent it?
I've got the card in my office. It was they're really cool. They have a clothing company. It's called. It's on probably the back of the neck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find that.
But I forgot their name.
Thank you.
I forgot you were wearing the shirt, but I can go run in there and get it by the end of the show. And
but no, but it is about allowing that transformation to happen, you know, and whether that transformation is going to be life-changing, life-altering, you know, that's what time's going to tell, you know, but you have to actually allow that. You have to be open for that transformation. You can't kind of shut yourself out because you can't stop the eclipse from coming. That is not what's going to happen in this life, you know. And so it is about appreciating yourself. It is about knowing your own strength, knowing your own power, so that you know that you can stand for whatever is going to come your way. You know that you are capable of working through any of those hardships that are going to come your way. And on the opposite side of that, you are going to be capable of allowing that love once that transformation does happen. But you have to be open, you have to be ready, and you have to be willing to actually take the chances to make that happen.
Yeah, and you know, it's a culmination point. It's a peak. You know what I mean? It's like whoop! Like it's definitely ready for transformation and change, and also, you know, what you really want and not holding away from that or backing off that. All right, let's see what's crapping with the rest of these ones. What are we at right now? We're at 750, 758. Come on, I know we can break that 1,000. Get that 1K love going on. Pisces popped up. There's another sign behind it, but I didn't look. Pisces. Let's see who's popping for the Pisces. First card that we got here is, well, you got the Hermit reversed. I think that you, again, just, you know, there's 2 Hermit cards in this deck. You already know what to do. You already have gained all the info. It's time to get out and stop being the crash test dummy. Literally. You pulled the Hierophant reversed. I think that's part of your issue is like I think that you're almost like falling victim to, that word's coming up a lot right now, is victim. But that Hierophant card, it's creepy in this deck, the zombie deck. You know why? The Hierophant in this one is like the good old newscaster that is telling you that the zombie apocalypse and just stay at home and everything's okay. This is reversed. It's not okay. It's not okay to be a crash test dummy in all these weird situations. And I feel like it's an overall energy around your life that's also creating this crash test dummy kind of energy. Your overall that you pulled is the Hangman reverse. It's time to get out. Talk about horror movies on Halloween week. Get out! That house is weird. Especially when she starts using that black voodoo magic. You know what I mean? Why'd you pull that Hierophant card? Why'd you pull it? Queen of Wands reversed. I think that you're not naive. You know you feel stupid, that you know you're not getting the ultimate happiness that you want, but yet it's like, let me just keep listening to this TV and let them tell me that I'll be okay here with a zombie apocalypse coming, and I'm willing to still be the test dummy. No, you're not. Get the Hangman reverse. Time to pull out and move into not where you're stuck anymore. Wow, you pulled the High Priestess reversed with the Hermit reversed. It's like, don't you dare. And I'm definitely not a high priestess. Definitely much more of like a high priest. But I can say that, like, don't you dare. But like, don't you dare, like, go crash test dummy the same stuff that you feel so stupid about in your heart. Like, stop denying what your guides are saying. Your guides are trying to avoid you this week from catastrophe. And I would say this is from exes, current partnerships that are not going well. And in current partnerships, you might be dealing with maybe your partner doing some weird stuff, or maybe you're starting to go down some weird roads and cause of weird stuff in the relationship, and you know, figure that shit out. I'm pulling from this deck. What do we get here? Oh, you got the Queen of Cups upright. So with the Hangman up reversed, it's like, yeah, it's time to go it's time to nurture those feelings. It's time to fill up that emotional cup that's going to be nurturing. You need to feel nurtured. You need to feel good emotionally. And I think that you're coming from a place where you feel stuck because you're feeling nurtured and emotionally connected by things that are really not that nurturing, right? Like, oh, well, my partner provides for me, or we are together so we can do this. But you're empty in a space. The fire's gone. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of reversals here. You're overall here. Oh, you got a full moon, and we have the full moon, and for you, it's in the 3rd house. It's time for stimulation and excitement and new environment. Oh my God. So it's going to be definitely a big week. Oh, Earth stability. How funny is that? I think that the stability of what you're looking for in your life is definitely changing. And I would say that it's bringing up on this full moon extremely. It's time to redirect, and it's time to redirect towards, you know, opening up new doorways and opening up to new possibilities. And I think that, you know, an earth element is all 3 of the elements within the earth, right? You got Taurus, you got Virgo, and you got Cancer, Capricorn. So it's like, you know, it's like you need to know your self-worth now. You need to know the reality that you want, and you need to make the choices and take the risks in order to get that stability. And it's going to take all your emotions, and it's going to take everything that you ever did, and it's going to be disruptive emotionally, but it's going to fill you up emotionally, because at the end of the day, well, this full moon in the 3rd house is saying it's time to look at the facts and change the environment up and shake things up. You pulled Leo, Neptune in the 1st. So yeah, I think that, you know, the love story of your life that you want, there's the delusion of it. And then there's also the coming to Jesus moment of that. There's a lot of subconscious issues that have kind of blurred out maybe you don't know what you want. You don't know what to do. You don't have the confidence, but you there's some sort of, you know, weird thing holding you back, or it's somebody that you identify as that you love, but that you don't have access, or there's some clouds there. And I think that you need to part those clouds. And I think that you need to see the truth. And I think you need to take off the rose-colored glasses. You need to take off the whole, I don't know what I'm doing and I can play that card anymore. You can't play that card anymore. You can't play the whole, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of, you know, and it's all going to be okay. It's not going to be okay.
I think it's time you take your power back, you know. I think it's time that you actually stand in your own convictions. I think it's time that you make your decisions for yourself. You know, if you should leave this situation because maybe you feel like you're stuck. Maybe you got into this situation because, you know, you were down on your luck. You know, you were out of love, or you felt like you were out of love. You know, you felt like no one appreciated you. You felt like, you know, maybe there's a monetary value that you needed some help with, you know. But whatever it is, you know, it's time that you break out of that, you know, before you literally continue to just fall deeper, deeper, and deeper, and then to the point where you lose yourself. You know, you lose your identity, and you don't even know who's looking back at you in the mirror. You know, it's time that you say, no, enough is enough. I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm going to go and walk out this door, or take a drive, and maybe possibly never come back to see you again. You know, if it's not beneficial to you, there's no reason to be stuck in it. You don't need to do that. You know, you have your own power, you have your own truth, and you have your own love, but you have to believe in that. You know, don't just stay and stuck in a situation because you feel obligated to do so. You know, you can leave at any point. You know, it doesn't matter what boat you're in, you can always get out.
You can always get out. And I think that, you know, being stuck on the wrong boat at the wrong, you know, look at what happened to Jack in Titanic. He was on the wrong boat. Then he ended up with somebody who he was in love with. But let's be real.
She let him drown.
She let him drown. Oh, I'll never let go, Jack. Never. Thanks for giving me a hot time in a Model T down in the bottom of the boat.
Paint me like one of your French women, Jack.
Oh, and by the way, thanks for helping me get the naked painting, which I actually stole the big jewels that I took with me and obviously took for money because I'm still leaving the guy that I don't want to be with. And I don't have to deal with you anymore. Oh. Can always change boats. Don't be in that Jack Sparrow moment and just be like, she's never going to let go, even though there's definitely room for me to get on that piece of board plank with her. And I'm sure there's more plank around and she's not looking for it. I watched that movie 3 times in movie theaters back when I was in like high school or whatever, junior high, whenever it was. And I remember just every time just being like, oh God, like, you're such an idiot, dude. Like, never let go. I'll never let go till right now. It's not like that fool got told, like, I'll never let go, like, for like months or years, or Virgo. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, a minute? I'll never let go. I'll never let go, Jack. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm good. You got 1 minute of like, oh, okay, she's never going to let go, and then she let go. I mean, that's a pretty terrible death, right?
I'll never let go until it's beneficial for me. And then what she do? She don't let go.
Gosh, and he did everything. He did everything. He took her down to do some Scottish dancing. That guy went everywhere for her, and she didn't do much for him. I'm not saying that this is a girl or guy thing. It's just that scenario, right? There's guys who do that to girls. Like, I'm never going to let go. And then they let go. You know what I mean? I mean, when I was on parental control, I said, don't worry about it. And then I made out with the other chick. You know what I mean? So I've been there. Who are we doing again? Virgos. All right, let's see what's going on with Virgo. 5 of Cups reversed. Bye, bitch. Well, I think that you've said goodbye, but you really haven't said goodbye. I think that you're dealing with some sorrow and pain that you don't know how to really let go of, but you still have to like let it go. You could be acting out a little bit with it, right? It's Marilyn Monroe, like, you know, but reverse with the bye bitch. I feel like it's almost like, you know, when, I don't know, Craig, you know, when people like, they get over something and then they kind of act out, right? They kind of act out. I feel like Virgos are kind of acting out. If you're in a relationship right now, you might be don't act out on your partner this week just because you're upset about your own life or you're dealing with something that you think is going to be sorrow or terrible when it's not. Don't act out. 2 of Wands reversed. So you feel like you've lost control of the world that you wanted. I feel like you're not feeling like your love life's going the direction that you want. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I just feel like you know, but it really can be. I think you just got to let go of things that have already been let go. It's like letting go. So you already let go of Jack. He died. Now you got to let go of that, and eventually, like when the boat rescues you, get back to your life into America now. You know what I mean? Like, okay, move on. Or you can still have the life that you want with love, but I think that there's just like little bumps here you got to get over. You pulled you pulled the Page of Wands reversed. So it's like, I think that you're expecting somebody to come back and speak, or you're expecting people to speak the way you want to, or even act out the way that you want to, and that's why you're acting out, but they're not. You can't expect. Like, you can't expect the page to show up. It's not going to show up the way you want to. The message or the communication, the way that you want it to come, is not coming your way. And that's kind of the acting out. It's almost like, you know, Marilyn Monroe's probably calling the White House for JFK, like, hello, I've done your brother too. Like, where are you guys? Whichever one wants to show up, like, call me. How dare you try and call me after not calling me? Ace of Air reversed. Ace of Swords reversed. Well, yeah, it's hard to puncture this kind of fresh new breath of air in life, I would say, especially directed deeply in that 2 of Wands. I think that you don't, you know, it feels like your world is upside down right now. And I think that has a lot to do with just, you know, a lot of your internal stuff. You pulled all reversals. So you got some inner stuff that you're dealing with that you have to cut back and you have to deal with. You pulled the 4 of Cups. So it's like, it's almost like, it's like you haven't let go because you want it, but you don't want it back. It's so weird. You're putting yourself in a complete situation of insanity where it's like, well, I like this feeling of this, but I don't like this feeling of this. I kind of want it back, but even if it did come back, I don't want it back. I don't want to keep doing this, but I do want to keep doing this. Like, that's just insanity. You got the King of Wands, though, as your overall. Like, you have to be the one that just charges to whatever you want, and create the expectation in yourself of what you have to go for to create this new breath of fresh air in your life. We're going to have to use the overalls because that's the only, I mean, you have the Four of Cups and the King of Wands. I mean, it's almost like you're hesitant. And even though God's offering you blessings, it's like you only want to run towards what you want to run to, but God's giving you blessings that you feel like aren't the ones that you want it to look like. So it's like this week in love, it's like not looking the way that you want to. Why? Well, Earth, okay, so the physical aspect, everything from the touch to the, the physical of having it, to the reality, to even the recognition, maybe not feeling recognized. In Pisces, I believe, I think that's part of it, is like, I think that you're lost in what to do right now with your self-worth, or where your relationship physically is going and how it's developing, what choices to make, how are you going to make it operate better, or even that if you're single, like I think that, especially that Pisces is the ruler of your 7th house. You're definitely dealing with some really intense issues here, especially with the 2nd house of Venus and Mercury retrograde. This is some self-worth issue stuff, I would say, and some really high sensitivity to your values. You did pull Saturn in Libra in the 7th house. So, I mean, that's an exalted Saturn. It's in its own house of exaltation as well. So in Libra and with Venus and Mercury retrograde being here, it's kind of interesting that you'd pull that. I would say that this is a lot of you having to realize the judgment that comes from how you place judgment on your relationships. Is it too far? Is it too less? Is it, where are you restricting yourself with relationships? Where do you take relationships too seriously? I mean, I think that that's part of the issue. And then it's creating, I'm going to pull one other card to help out. We're going to pull a shadow card. The Gilded Regret. Huh? Oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Well, I pulled the Gilded Regret. So you're dealing with lots of regret. And I think that inside that would mean it's because of how I think that, relationships are a serious thing, but they're not as serious as other things in life. And I think that you're taking too much of an over seriousness on people, and it's creating kind of like people feeling like they're judgmental. I'm just going to say it from what I'm pulling here. This is like, and then even God feels like it's being judged by like not giving you exactly what you want. I think that your demands are way too high. And I think that you're missing out on quite a lot of things, and you want the ultimate dream, but I don't think that, you're able to have it because you're creating a belief system. You're creating a fantasy that doesn't exist. The dice? Yeah, 7th house, Libra, Saturn.
I'm gonna be honest, I missed a big chunk of that as I was trying to find batteries.
All good. I mean, it was just basically, it was not an easy reading, but I think it was a good one. Regret.
There's a lot of reversals in there.
There was a lot of reversals, right? And a lot of, at 4 cups is an upright.
What are you not facing? What are you not facing yourself, Virgo? Is there certain aspects that maybe you kind of shunned away, or that you're kind of letting that mirror be a little too dirty? You're not cleaning it off, or all that steam still on there from the shower, and you just kind of see the depiction of yourself that's fogged up, and there's not a clear view. It's time to clear that out and clear your mind and clear your beliefs and clear yourself as a whole, so you can get back into it.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like this isn't bad. It's just like, I think what has happened and how to change it now. You got the King of Wands upright. So I think that you're getting back on your horse, but it's kind of feel, I think, a little late in the game. You might feel like you're kind of getting your swag back at the end of this week, but you might get it back right now just by hearing this reading. But I'm just telling you that there's a lot of how you handled things in the past that are definitely regretful. You regret just the way things have gone, and I think that you can't have any expectations on the other half, or expectations on other right now on how to be a certain way, because you got to look at the mirror reflection of yourself, big time. So, sorry, we have so many cards now. I'm like, I put them all away so I don't have to it gets to like 300, 400 cards that, you know, you're like, sometimes, yeah, it becomes insane. So let's see what's going on in here. Libras. Let's see what's going on with them Libras. They got a big week this week. Get the Venus and Mercury Retrograde going in their sign. Well, you got the Ace of Wands upright. It's the wow time. I mean, it's the story, the love story that you want to have. Are you willing to do what you have to do to get there? Are you ready for the wow factor? If something is not a wow factor, then you got to handle that. If a wow factor shows up, it's time to do something about it. You did pull the Five of Swords. You're not trying hard enough to go towards, or you're trying too hard for a wow factor that there is no wow factor. So it's either A, you're single, you're not trying hard enough, you want the wow factor, you're not doing anything about it enough. Or you're in a relationship, there's no wow factor, and you're trying so hard to make it a wow factor, and there's just a dud. You pulled the Nine of Wands upright, defense. You keep defending those positions that I just told you. You're defending, well, I'm not trying that hard enough because of this, or I'm trying really hard because it is wow, but it's not showing up as wow, but I'm still going to defend it, and I'm going to still try so hard, even though it's not a Seven of Wands that really has that energy. It's like you're defending something that other person really is not the wow factor in the same essence. Or if you're single, you're missing out on wow factors completely. You got Spirit. Wow, this is a rare card, actually. Let Spirit guide the way with you. I think that, you know, let Spirit happen. If it's something that is not wow factor, let it be not wow factor and see what happens. Let Spirit take over instead of you trying to freaking keep doing the things that you're doing. And then on top of that, if you are somebody who's missing a wow factor and you're not trying anything, let Spirit come in and allow those things to come in. Well, look at that. Six of Wands is with your Ace of Wands. So it's like you're not feeling victorious right now, or you're not out on the quest, or you're out on the quest and you haven't found the victory. You know what I mean? I feel like you're just like not on victory's trail because of the fact that you're too afraid to really do the victorious trail of the ultimate Ace of Wands that you could have, the ultimate Ace of Happiness that you could have. You could have the wow factor, but for some reason that's not top priority for you right now. And then in other Libras, I would say especially partnered ones, or might even be single ones dealing with some weird people. Like, yeah, I mean, I think that you're trying to find a wow factor in people that you know there's not a wow factor. And I think that you already know it's not going to be successful. I think that you're dealing with, any Libra right now is dealing with somebody who you realize isn't a wow factor because they don't have the ability to reach where they promised they said they could. They don't have the way to do it. They can't reach for the stars. They can't become victorious in what they do. I don't want to call them losers, but you're dealing with people who just like don't have it. They just don't have it. They don't have the zhuzh. They don't got it. They don't got it. Wow, I said Seven of Wands, but it's Seven of Pentacles. You need to invest. Don't start putting up defense for yourself, and don't start putting up defense for somebody else if you're not going to be putting any energy in and get no investment back. So if you're defending something and the investment isn't coming back, it's like defending a startup that's got no money. Run, right? You know what I mean? And then at the same time, I think that there's a lot of this where it's like there's a lot of Libras right now that are going through this whole like, you're looking for somebody to come back the same way and come in and put the same amount in, but you're not even showing up. You got your walls up. You're not, so it's like they don't know. Do I invest with you or not? Like, are we going to open up portfolios here? Are we going to open up talks? Are we going to start talking? Your overalls that you got here, you got the magic. It's time for the magic to come in. I don't know what it is, but man, the magic's trying to come in, especially you pulled that very rare Spirit card in this deck. So, and only being around the magic and let the magic happen. You pull the Aquarius. It's time to do something different, innovative, change. You already know the magic's there in an area, but I'm going to be very cautious the way I say this about what I'm seeing, as I feel that there is a wow factor that is not a wow factor. So don't start putting magic on a non-wow factor. Aquarius is willing to disconnect because it knows it's not that innovative or it's not that exciting, especially if they are not achieving their goals and what they say that they are, and they're not that great. They're not on their high horse in life. I'm just going to be honest. Like, they don't have much achievement. They're not really, you know what? I almost feel like you're embarrassed of this person. I feel like you're embarrassed. They're like the warrior that comes back on the quest and doesn't come back with being victorious at all. You pulled Mars, second house, Gemini. Ooh, wow. You are a curious one this week and willing to look for the good stuff, but you're going to have to communicate very intense things about what you want, and you can't be afraid. You're going to have to be bold, and you're going to have to be bold to get what you want, and you're going to have to know what that environment is, and you're going to have to be curious, and you're going to have to also, in typical Libra fashion, especially the Mercury Retrograde and Venus in Libra, you're going to have to go investigate where the good stuff is, however that may mean to you.
Yeah, don't settle. Don't be complacent either. You know, don't let the good times kind of pass you by, so to speak. You know, it's a finite time, and it's a finite time for experiences and for greatness. You know, and so when it shows itself, you got to be ready. You know, and you got to be ready because you have to be able to be putting that effort into yourself day in and day out. You know, obviously sometimes we're going to take days off, moments off, whatever that is, but you got to stay ready. You got to stay joyful, and you got to stay appreciative of what's going to come into your life, and you know, take advantage of it. You know, seize the day, seize the moment, seize your life, because it's going, and this is the only time they're going to be able to experience it in this moment fully. So don't let it pass you by.
There's a song, Libra, you should listen to, although it's not a very Libra song. It's a very Aries song. But it's Avenged Sevenfold, and it's called Strength of the World. And when you said, or you can listen to Seize the Day, there is that. That reminded me, but then the song I wanted on that album was to listen to Strength of the World. Like, maybe listen to Seize the Day. It's a little bit more Libra, but it's still a little, you know, avenged. But if you really want to get your get it on, Strength of the World, it's time to have that strength of the world and have that world that you want and go after it. You'll hear me blaring that shit in my AMG with the top down, or my GT500 fucking bomb, fucking, you know what I mean? Strength of the world. We've got, guess who it is? Guess what time it is, everybody? And guess whose birthday it is literally today? Scorpio. But whose birthday is it? It's Mr. Scorpio himself. The one, the only, Chief Mojo Rising, Craig Skidmore.
Because ain't no party like a Scorpio party, baby. Got to put on my new dope glasses for this. My new paper maches. Can't see me, can't see me. I can't really see shit either, though, so let's get this party started, baby.
What's going on, birthday boy, and all the Scorpios out there? Happy birthday to all the Scorpios out there. Let's see what's going on with the Scorpios. I know Scorpios have been going through a lot. There's a big full moon in your relationship house with Uranus. Woo! Wake up time. Two of Pentacles reversed. You're done juggling. Done juggling. No more juggling. No more juggling. You can't keep juggling some person or some situation back and forth again. It's not going to work out. And look at this. There's like a little love triangle of like a little threesome action going on right there. But
I ain't mad at that.
But it's reversed. It's like, because she's, you know, it's like these, she's kind of juggling which guy she likes better. You can't keep juggling. You're juggling, and that's over. It's time to stop juggling. You can't be like, well, I'm kind of in, I'm kind of out. I don't know. Like, you're done. You're done with that. We're gonna get. What's the challenge? You got the 10 of Wands. You're done with holding on to weight. You've been juggling because it's just been a lot of weight, and it's not really going anywhere, and it's just too much to hold on to. And it's time to just drop a load here. Not in the bathroom. There's a big load being dropped this week by stop juggling and being okay with that. I mean, you're Scorpio, you know your primal instincts, so it's time to go off that primal instinct, especially with this full moon in Taurus. It's time to break free. with Uranus. Oh, wow, you got the Six of Wands. It's time to be victorious. You can be victorious by dropping the weight and stop juggling and actually find the love that you're looking for in life. Or whatever the situation is, like, you got to pick a side. You can't just stay in the middle. Remember, Scorpios in the middle don't do well in anything, with especially Venus in the 12th. You can't be in the middle. You're either in or you're out. Seven of Cups. Time to go look out for all the other things. Look at, I love this because it's a little Alice in Wonderland-y. It's like there's so many other possibilities out there when you drop the weight, because then you've unloaded all the energy and now you have the opportunity to look for the new prize out there, look for the new energy, the new love. I would feel like, you know, Scorpios that are in relationships too, there's maybe some issue that you're juggling right now with your relationship, and it's just like, maybe just stop just doing it, and so you guys can move on to a new place, and you can be victorious by doing that. So I think that, you know, Scorpios have to drop something deep. I feel like, though, that a lot of Scorpios that have been on the fence in relationships, you know, it's time to end those. The ones that they feel for sure about it. Maybe your partner's been juggling. You don't know how to deal with it. I think that you'll be victorious, but, you know, I think that Ten of Wands reversed is, you know, it's a lot of, maybe you're putting too much weight on them. So there's a lot of different ways to look at this. The reason why you're juggling, Seven of Swords, you know, there's something shady going on here. Or you're not being authentic, or you're dealing with somebody who's not being the way you thought they were going to be. Like they're looking at you weird, or, you know, it's funny in the zombie deck. I love the Seven of Swords. It's my favorite card. It's a woman. It's the wife pushing down the husband down the stairs into zombie land at the bottom of the house, and she has an Uzi. Like, oops, sorry. Like, you can go down there and sacrifice so I can stay alive. Yeah, there's a lot of white lies going on right now. A lot of, you know, you got to look at yourself and be like, you know, you're trying to juggle a certain position, and it's not worth it. It's time to go be victorious, where Scorpios don't have to do that, right? You don't like lying, so why lie yourself, or why deal with a liar if you're dealing with a liar? Page of Wands reversed. With that Six of Wands, I just don't think that you've lost the flame for something, and somebody else is not returning back the flame that you need. And that's why you're ready to go find victory where somebody sees that victory and is willing to celebrate you. I feel like you're not being celebrated, and then you're expecting them to show up and be changed and show up in happiness the way you want to, and be victorious, but somehow it's just not working out that way. Your overall that you got is the focus. Okay, well, it's time to focus and aim in new directions. And your overall card that you got here is, wow, the communication and air, and it's breathing, and it is a full moon in Taurus with Uranus. It's time to, in your relationships, you know, move into a much more focused direction that's going to take you in a wild new direction. And I think that communication is important, but I feel that communicating in all levels, from what you want to speak, what is the partnership, and what kind of world is that partnership creating? If all those things don't click, then that's the wrong focus, and you need to re-aim and go find where that communication meets on all three levels. You pulled Venus in the 9th in Leo. Oh, wow. It's time to go explore love. It's time to go open the doors to love, and open up to new energies, open up to energies that are way more fun. I feel like you're dealing with somebody, or you're dealing with a situation right now that is not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun enough. It's not a party. It's not a fuck yeah. It's like, and it almost feels like it's like you're dealing with somebody who's like an old school teacher who's like trying to play love like an old school teacher or something. And that doesn't work. Like, sorry. Like, well, we should do this, and this is the next step. It's like, really?
Explore the depths of yourself, and what is it that you actually truly desire, Scorpio? You know, are you kind of holding yourself back? You know, are you not expressing yourself fully? Or do you think that this individual that you're with isn't going to accept you fully? Then, you know, if they are, then he or she is, or it, whatever it is, it's not going to work, you know, unless you can fully express yourself at every moment, you know, without limiting your beliefs, without limiting that expression, then it's not going to work. You know, the sun's not going to be shining as bright as you need it to be, and the darkness ain't going to be as dark as it needs to be. That's for damn sure. You know, so don't limit yourself. Don't limit your love. Don't limit the amount of expression that you're willing to put out, and don't limit what they're going to put out as well, because maybe there's something that you're judging in that individual, you know, or maybe you kind of put them into a corner and said, okay, this is what that person is, before you fully let them express themselves to you, because there's that learning process, you know. So whatever it is, it needs to be put out there on the table, you know. Is it going to work or is it not? You know, are you going to let that freak flag fly, or are you going to fly it at half mast? Go big or go home.
Did you just say baby dong?
Go big or go home.
That goes along with baby dong. Like, don't play with baby dong. Gemini. We are getting near the end here. From what I see, it's just Leo and Aquarius after this. So we're in the last three. All righties. All right, Gemini, let's see what's going on with the twins. Knight of Cups reversed. Ooh. You know, I like this card because it says, I am back, bitches, but here you are, Knight of Cups, stuck emotionally, don't know what to do, you're frozen. Frozen! Frozen emotionally, you're not back, you're afraid to get back. You're afraid to get back to the real, emotional place that you want to be, especially with this Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, especially with this full moon in Taurus in your 12th house. I think that you are holding yourself back. I think that you are trying to play the whole, it's okay for me to not be moving emotionally in any place, but you are feeling empty from it, and you are missing out on a reality, and you are feeling lost because of it, and you just need to have courage. You pulled the 6 of Cups. Your issue is memories. It's like you just want things to just be this perfect memory, or it look a certain way because you had a good memory once, and it needs to look this way. And if a memory gets tattered or it gets anything that doesn't look the way that you want to, it's like, this is not some scrapbook that you're going to have to live in your life with love. You can't live your life like a scrapbook. I'm sorry to say. They don't make scrapbooks anymore. Not many people do it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I think that your challenge is like, you're emotionally stuck because you're stuck on like a memory. Like you're stuck on, and it's like, we create new memories. Let's move forward and create new memories. Let's not keep moving backwards. Uranus retrograde in the 12th of the full moon. And Taurus, Ace of Pentacles. It's time to go step into a new reality, however that looks. It's like a restart. Let's start fresh and new. Let's go fresh and new. Instead of staying stuck in the same place, it's like, you're ready to come back in the energy of who you are and say, I'm back, bitches. I'm fucking here emotionally. But here you are hung up on these stupid, I'm just going to say it. There's stupid scrapbook, stupid ways of how it should look. And it should be this perfect, like it's like, you're not a little kid. Okay. Like, we get over our shit in life. And I think that for you got to get over your shit and move on instead of staying hung up on the past. You pulled the strength card. It's time to go into the strength and to the boldness of what you want in your life. Like, look at this. I love the strength card. It's so strong, so powerful. It's like, fuck, you are missing out on that as a memory I want to remember. This is cute, but that's your issue, Gemini. Like, I know that you like cute things and you want it to be, but it's like, don't be so small-minded, especially. It's time to open up the big passion and the big courage and open up the gates. Let's see what's going on with that Knight of Cups. Why are you stuck emotionally? Oh, look at that. You pulled the Wheel of Fortune reverse. You're trying to control your fortune. You're trying to think that you have control of things. You've forgotten that the fortune that you've been bestowed with in your life is now going to start going the opposite direction because you are trying to control it too much. You've got a control issue with trust right now. You got a control issue with keeping your emotions in this frozen state, and that is not good. You got to keep the emotions flowing in life. You got to keep the waters flowing. You got to keep everything flowing. You got to keep the wheel to give you more fortune, but you are stopping the wheel and think that you just want to hold fortune in this one place. Well, you're missing out on even bigger fortune. And the only thing that does when you don't spin the wheel and Wheel of Fortune is you start losing money and you can't answer the questions referring to the game. Pull the King of Cups with that Ace of Pentacles. Wow. I think it's like, when you have the strength and you finally are ready to do the emotional thing of what you really want, and you're not going to play small ball anymore, and you're going to actually do it, you're not going to play this little cute little fancy game and stay in this like, it needs to look cute. It needs to look like this little like simple way. And once you let go of the control wheels, then you have realize that you're strong and independent in the feelings that you have and however it goes. And you're willing to start a new reality, and memories are memories, and the past is the past, and to move on and to move into something that's beautiful and new. Your overall that you got here is transformation. It's time to transform. You know what? Maybe it was a caterpillar at one time. Now it's a butterfly. So if you're stuck on the memories as a caterpillar, what's the butterfly life going to be like? That's a whole new scrapbook. Wow. 4th house, roots. This has to do about your roots. It has to do about your foundation. It has to do with your home life. I think that, that's the issue, is I think that at the bottom in the emotional roots of your life, that's where you need to transform and find the beauty of. And I think either A, you're dealing with a partner that's not happening and they don't know how to do it, and you're feeling like there's something missing. And I also think that B, that, that's what you need. You need the everlasting tree of life, and you know where that's at. You know where that transformation's at, but you're trying to hold from it and you're trying to stay away from it, even though you have to have the courage to go in it to change your life. It's time to change. It's like time to make that transformation. And also maybe where you live, and also, or you're more addicted to, your roots and your home, or you're living at home with your family, and it's like, okay, but you kind of want to leave. There's a lot of weird things. You got a big love transit with Venus in the 5th and with Mercury retrograde in this place. You got 11th house, Libra, Neptune. I think that the whole idea of how a relationship's going to fit in your world, you've created a delusion of how it should look, this kind of like perfect story that's so beautiful, but it's like, that's not possible. Like, I think that it's possible by allowing it in and by going through the sensitivities, and then it can turn into what you want it to look like. But it's always going to be spirit that is going to bring us where we need to go, and surrendering to that to allow it to get close to the way that you want it to look.
It's time to become a player in the game. It's time to be a player in your life and actually make the decisions. You have all these experiences, you have all this information, but it's time to actually do something with it. We can't. Yeah,
no more sitting on the bench. Like no more pine fucking. Pine. It is roasting the pine.
Roasting the pine.
Sorry, I just
Hey, it's all good, because when it comes to athletics, there are certain types of people. Some people are practice players and some people are game players.
Woo!
And you don't want those practice players in the last minute taking that last shot, because they don't have the ability to get it done, and you have that ability, but you'd have to actually put the focus into it and put that shit down and say, all right, I'm done pondering on it. I'm done thinking about it. I'm done wasting my time with whatever the hell is going on with it. And it's time to make shit happen. So you got to go out and get it. You got to make it happen for yourself, because no one else is going to do it.
Well, because when you sit on the pine too long, it's like the Dodger game on Saturday night when they're up, bottom of the 9th, they got the game, and a flub comes, and Taylor in center field misses the ball, and then throws to the cutoff, and then the cutoff guy throws it to home plate, and then the catcher can't even catch the ball, and there's no backup behind it, and you start flubbing because you're out of the game, and you're gonna make more flubs. It's going to get worse the more that you're just kind of, sitting back and just like everything's chill the way it is when it's not. You're not playing the game. I love that analogy. That's a fucking dead on analogy, Craig. Like that, and I was sitting at my brother's this weekend, and it was on my Instagram. I'm sure some of you all saw my stories, and I'm laughing because I'm like, I've learned my lesson with the Dodgers. If y'all don't know, Craig and I are Angel fans. Anyway, 3 World Series in the last 4 years or something like that.
Yeah,
4 years, 3 years,
4.
and 4, and it's like to watch them mess up so much and lose, and when they're winning and they did some of the most amazing things I've seen in baseball ever, right? Like, it wasn't like they were shitty games, but like to mess them up, because in many ways, I don't know. It's like they didn't get in the game when it was necessary. They only got in the game when they wanted it. It was only when they wanted home runs, and that was part of their deal, is they would just go in for home runs. And then when it came to like defense, they weren't ready to do it. Like, I feel like Geminis are kind of playing like we're going to win if I just play this one way. And in baseball, in any sport, you got to adjust. And you got to be in the game. And in the game, you got to adjust constantly. And in chess, if the moves come at you a different way, you got to fucking adjust your moves. You got to play a different, you start making different moves. I feel like Geminis are stuck on the same move or stuck on the same swing. And it's like Shaq, right? Like they worked on his, ability to make a free throw, right? Like, even though his hand's bigger than the ball. But he kept trying. That's why I like Shaq, because Shaq never gave up. And then he would always impress people. Like he'd get better sometimes, And now I'm getting I don't really watch sports anymore, but because of its weird world. But I will say that sports are a big part of my life. Always been. No comment. You didn't hear anything I said about sports and I said about Shaq?
I thought you said, I didn't hear what you said at the very end.
Oh, I was just saying you don't have any comment about all that stuff I said about sports and flubbing and...
Yeah, I mean... Sorry, I need to change this thing now. No, I mean, you're spot on with it because it takes... let me get me going. No, it takes that effort. It takes that dedication, and when you kind of pull yourself out of a situation for too long, then you get lost in it. You get lost in the moment, and it can just pass you right by without you even realizing what the hell is going on in front of you. So staying focused, staying determined, got to be in it to win it, always. I was actually more of a Shaq guy than a Kobe guy, to be honest. But R.I.P. Kobe, regardless.
I mean, I think it was a Shaq and Kobe combo.
Yeah, I was bummed when Shaq left.
Oh, but it was a big, like, it was different. Like, that was the magic, And for Geminis, that's a good lesson. It takes two to tango, right? It's not about that, like kind of how with Kobe, it's like, it was just Kobe. Like, there's a lot of players that made Kobe great. And then same thing with even like LeBron James, right? Like, it's not just LeBron James. Like, there's other people that set him up to be great,
Definitely.
And that's in every sport. It takes everything, unless you're Michael Phelps. But even with Michael Phelps, he has his other teammates in the American team that are racing him and that are practicing with him and pushing him to the limit. Because on swim team, it's an individual sport, but it's really your teammates are there for you before the race, after the race, and you do it for that because you all want to win,
Well, he needed that relay also to get the 8 gold medals or whatever it was, that one Olympics that he did.
Oh, that's true.
And the guy almost blew it for him, too. But then
Oh, at the end, right? Wasn't it?
It was like the second guy on the leg blew it, because I think Phelps...
Didn't Phelps come back and win it at the end?
No, it was it's some other dude.
No, but I'm saying, didn't Phelps, though, have to catch that ground back up and swam, if I remember that race?
We'll have to look it up later.
What was that, 2000?
I think it was like
4 Olympic? 2000.
It was a while ago. 2008, maybe?
Yeah, maybe 2008. I remember that one. I think he came back, and it just like, he's so fast, he just came back. Aquarius. And then Leos are last. I'm last this week. Wonderful. Oh, look at what somebody put. Come on, Tarot Spirit Guides. Give us some truth for Aquas in the house. All right, Aquas, we're going to give you that truth. Let's see what's going down. Oh, shit. 5 of Pentacles. I think that you feel, this is the card where it feels like that you're holding on to just some really, like, I don't know. You feel like you're not being seen. You feel like, I don't know, you're not feeling at your best. You feel like there's a puzzle piece missing. Something's missing. Oh, shit. It is a full moon in Taurus. This is your emotional house. You are going to get emotional this week. But it's trying to break that through. You got the Temperance card in reverse. Ooh, look at that. Injection. Unnatural. I think, Aquarius, you're kind of in some unnatural waters that just feel off. And that's why the puzzle piece is off. It's like there's a natural flow in love. There's a natural thing. But when you're trying to continue to, I don't know, do something that's unnatural and continue to make it work and not addressing the natural order of the universe of a relationship, you're going to feel like there's a puzzle piece out because it's not together. And the Temperance card is also, the challenge is that, with I think the reversal, I would say that you've taken too long to deal with some sort of situation that's an oh shit. Like you just keep doing the same thing and thinking it's going to change. It's not. Well, you pulled the Justice card. It's time to equal things out. It's time to bring order back, and it's time to come up with what is going to be. What is it going to be that in this courtroom that is going to justify the order that is given, and this is going to definitely be a week of divine justice that needs to be had, because you are, I'm going to be honest, that's the Victim card with the Temperance reverse card. It's an unnatural vibe that you're feeling in, and you feel like alone even if you're together, or you feel alone, period. How do we get through that? Well, you pulled the Page of Cups. It's time to go have fun again. Enrich yourself with energy and people that make you feel good and make you feel happy. Aquariuses might have to reach out to people that they know how to do that with, instead of trying to do this unnatural order and like turn somebody into that, emotional excitement that's not there. Especially, I'm going to be honest with you, it is Mercury coming back into Libra, Venus coming into Libra. It's time to expand the horizons again and go towards something that's open and positive. I think that you've been around some negative energy. You pulled the Four of Wands reversed. Oh shit. Yeah. I think that you are not seeing anything to celebrate about, but that might be your own victim thing. You're not allowing a celebration to happen or somebody to court you, right? This is a courting card. Like maybe you don't see anybody, or maybe you're dealing with somebody that doesn't know how to court you, or they don't want to court you, or maybe, you have to be much more direct on what you want, or you just are, if you're married too, I'll be honest, Aquarius, this is kind of like I don't know what to do about my marriage, or I don't know what to do about my engagement, or I don't know what to do about what I've made a big promise for in my relationship. Or you're seeing your partner do that, which is you saying the same thing. There's definitely a lot of backtracking. You pulled the Fool card with Justice. Don't be stupid, okay, and just be like, natural justice will just happen and I can just keep going down the hallways of wherever I want and just everything will be fine. I'm just going to follow the jester and he'll take me wherever I need to go. Oh my gosh, yeah, it'll all work out. No. Yes, it's time to go have fun, but only once the justice has been served of, bringing back some positivity back in your life and bringing back, no more questioning if, somebody's in or out, or if you're in or out, or more importantly, why is something missing? Why is there an oh shit of this victimization, of this feeling that you are not being held or taken care of, or that you're in an unnatural place and you need to bring a natural emotional place back. It's like you're empty. You're empty. You're drained. You got divinity. It's time to get back to divinity. It's time to get back to the divine self, to connect with the divine order, and to only be in love relationships and partnerships that understand divinity. If you can't talk divinity and you can't speak the code and you can't live in the code, then it's not worth being in. You know what I mean? Not worth being in. It's not worth taking the time to even go through it. It's not even worth it. Be in that divinity. Find that holier than reality, right? That reality that connects to the key of life through the oneness, through the divine order. Because I think that you're in an unnatural place and you're coming to a godly natural place this week. Or not, depending on how you're dealing with all this. Oh, that's not the right card, but we'll pull. I got with the divinity. It's because of the Knight of Wands in reverse. I think that you're not going towards the things you really want in your love life. That's not divinity. That's you holding off from love. Divinity is love. your overall card here is, wow, the 12th house. You're escaping divinity. You're in a no man's land. You're in a weird space, and you keep, circling into that. But the positive of the 12th house is spirituality, and you got it with divinity. So it's like, this is either just going to be a horrible week because you're not in divinity and you're not in with the person and you can't connect with that, and it's not fun and it's unnatural. Or you're going to say, fuck that, and I'm going to allow that divinity in. I'm going to allow myself to be honest with myself and spiritual. I'm going to allow that in, and I'm not going to play victim anymore. I'm not going to try to escape, and you might be escaping through some really weird means, or you might be avoiding it too and being like, hey, I got to go do this. I got to go do that, or I'm just going to avoid this, or I'm going to sit in your house and just not do anything. Like, you can't do that. You got the 6th house, you got Venus, and Libra, and you got Mars. Mars in the 6th in Libra, a detriment Mars in the 6th. Ooh. It's time for you to, change your reality to allow, you to find partnerships that are ones that fit in your reality and ones that, don't be too picky either or too judgmental. I think that's part of the issue, is that your ego is really judgmental about certain little things. And I think that it's like, why don't you allow the balance and order to come into the little things into your life, like go towards that. And sometimes you need to be pushed in, but maybe you need to put the mark out there to be pushed in. To it. Like, you got to just, hey, this is the reality. This is what I need in order to bring balance in my life. And somebody else will kind of help push it. But if you don't say anything, you don't allow it to be spoken about, well, it just goes nowhere. No man's land.
You can't live life retreating, You can't live life just by checking out, and not being present or just being afraid to kind of push forward. This is the time that it takes courage. This is the time that you kind of have to step into your own power and say, yes, I want to go grab this. And yes, I'm going to make this happen. Like I said before, no one's going to make it happen for you. It's easy to get lost within yourself and get lost within the doubt, lost within your mind, or even just checking out, and living and residing in that spiritual realm where we're just kind of floating around, without any actual beliefs behind it, just in the wanting to know, and wanting to figure it out. This is the time to apply what you know. This is the time to apply the strength that you have and push forward. Don't retreat, push forward.
Yeah, because I think retreating is missing out on the celebration. It's missing out on, it's not fun to retreat. Like, trust me, like if you're in war or something and you're retreating, it's like not a good feeling overall. You feel like a big, and just, it's just, you're missing out when you retreat. And we can also retreat to escape, right? Like escapism. And so that's even worse when you're retreating through escapism. That causes problems. It reminds me of, a good buddy of mine who passed away 3 years ago who, that's the cycle he ended up in. And, it actually was the cause of the reason why he passed away. And it was weird. This weekend I thought about him deeply, and I watched the video that I played at his funeral. And I also was the officiant at his funeral. And, it's hard. It's hard watching somebody very close to me and that I love with all my heart, best friend, everything, godfather in my life, just, go down that road. And no matter how much you try and help somebody out with that, it's up to them at the end of the day. And it's up to yourself to get out of those patterns that become not only a retreat, but an escape because of a retreat, to just step into. And whenever he would step into life and he wouldn't be afraid, and he would step in, God, he was just one of the most magical people you ever met in your life. Like, he glowed, and everybody just would want to be around him. Like, you would not want him to leave. Like, you would just like call him 20 minutes after and be like, I'm sad. You want to come back? Like, you know what I mean? Like, didn't matter if it was 20 days, like it didn't matter. And that's a very rare quality in a person. I've never met anybody else in my life that has that quality. And to see him go through those kind of means, and that's pretty deep for me to say that to you all, Aquarius. Like, it's ironic because my dad's an Aquarius, and he's Aquarius moon too, and he's that was his best friend, and that was my godfather for 20 years, and that was hard on all of us. And then I don't want you all Aquarians to be doing that right now. So it's Leo's end of the road. It's Leo's on this full moon in Taurus, and I am a moon in Taurus. I am having my lunar return with the opposition of the sun in Scorpio. Leo, with, this full moon is exactly opposing my Saturn, and the sun will be on my Saturn. I'm going to just tell everybody out there real quick about Halloween and David Palmer, Leo King. Halloween always sits on my Saturn. Okay? 9 degrees Scorpio. So I have not been always the big Halloween person. I don't always have the best time. And it's not fun having Saturn and Scorpio at 9 degrees because that's the first holiday of the holidays. So the first one where everybody's having a good time and everything, it's always me and my Saturn, right? It's like, I'm like, okay, like where's the, everybody's like, nah. So I've never really enjoyed Halloween much. I'm just going to be honest with you. I always feel just kind of like Sagittarian. And then it kind of leads into the holidays that way. And that's, holidays for me, it depends, it's a gamble for me. Like, I don't know. I may like them this year. I might not. So let's see what's going on with Leos this week. Wheel of Fortune, baby. That's what I like to see. Boom. Little dartboard there, bullseye. Think that Leo, fortune's coming your way this week, especially if you just allow it to happen. I can tell you in my life, I am surrendered to the wheel of life right now. So, all right, land me on where I need to be. This full moon in the 10th is, really achieving the goals that you want in your life. But with that sun, the 4th, emotionally, having somebody who understands the foundation, or if you're in a partnership, that partner understands your foundation and where you're going and wants to fucking go and do the same thing. And I think that target could be found. I mean, this guy's aiming right at her face with a gun, but I think it's like she would have an apple. You know what I mean? It's not like he's actually doing that. The Judgment card reverses the Challenge. I think the challenge is finding people who have the same mission. The Judgment card is the card of the mission. It is the card of this mission from a higher source. And it is a card about, ironic in the zombie deck here, which I've been using as the challenge deck, the mission would be to obliterate all the zombies, right? By this bomb. But the reverse will be like somebody who's like, well, I don't want to get in the plane and do that. And it's like, well, that's what I'm here doing. And you don't want to do that in my life. So here's fortune, but the challenge is it almost feels like there's fortunate situation, or it becomes unfortunate because it's like, well, they don't have the same all into God and the mission. But that's a challenge. We'll see how we get through it. The overall here is 9 of Swords. Ooh. I mean, I wouldn't mind her around, but she is a little creepy. There is the full moon up there. So this could be fears that something fortunate is not going to work out, or you're being judged. One thing about the Judgment card too is being judged. I'm a 5/1, so manifesting generator. I get judged every fucking day of my life, literally. I just dealt with more attacks last night, this morning, everything. But don't be afraid and don't be fearful, but be anxious if you know that they don't have that same energy of a mission in life, or a trajectory, or a target, right? We got a Wheel of Fortune with the dartboard here. Like if the target is not the same, you're going to have to face an uncomfortable and a kind of nightmare. Like it might feel like a nightmare emotional situation of having to hold your reputation, your respect. It's 10th house full moon and Uranus. That's the number one thing for you. And you kind of got to push her aside and be like, don't try and hook me in here. I got to keep going because you're pulling me away from my mission. So anybody trying to pull you away from your mission, or anybody that doesn't understand the mission, I'll be honest, it's hard. It's hard. Look at me. What time is it right now? Fucking, do you think it's easy to date when I'm like, yeah, I get off at 1:40 in the morning. It's 1:15 right now in the morning. Eight of Pentacles over that. Something that works. That's my card. Look at that harp, right? It's like, oh yeah, I can. It's like finding in your partnership or a partner that understands your mission, wants to be part of the mission or is in the same mission, and naturally flows perfectly with it. It works. It works. They get it. Gosh, man, if that could happen in my life, holy shit. Could happen. Seven of Pentacles upright. Well, this is the card. Well, I mean, this is a big fortune being delivered with a big return. So, but you have to be very knowing that the energy that you're going to invest in, you got to know it's going to come back to you. And I would say, especially with the astrology, this fits so well with the 6th house of Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, but especially this full moon in Taurus of like, I mean, in my life, if somebody can't handle my public life, then that's not going to work, right? If somebody wants to gain, I don't want to say gain like off my public life, but like be part of my public life, that's what I need. You know what I mean? As a Leo, and I think all Leos need it, right? Look at every Leo. I don't know Leos that don't gain off, you know, who walks down the red carpet with us is important. And the returns that we feel that somebody else sees those same returns and sees the star within us. And also we see the star within them, because Leos, you know, like, you love us, we give you the kingdom. You know what I mean? Like, so that return on investment will come, that Wheel of Fortune. That's fucking good. But there's something to fear. What is it? Ooh, Two of Pentacles. People who juggle. Ooh, people who might be sitting and say it works and are fortunate, but people who are juggling, and they might be juggling other people, or they might be juggling you. And it's like, that's where it's like, that's not good energy, where they're in juggle. And you if you're juggling and you're juggling something that because you're afraid, well, is it worthy of being afraid? If it works, if it has the mission, if it feels fortunate, it feels like you're getting it, then maybe it's not. Maybe you're getting out of it. The other good thing about the Two of Pentacles is, you know, not juggling, right? It's like not juggling. So people who are not juggling are not to fear. People who are juggling would be something to fear. Maybe your nightmare is having somebody that keeps juggling, or that you just keep juggling because you're juggling people who are juggling. The overall for Leo is new moon. Oh, wow. Definitely new starts. Look at that, the 45 card. That number's around a lot this week. Mercury, the mind. Yeah, this is a new, exciting, stimulating environment and conversation and reality of everything that makes sense for the life that you're going towards. Leos are not fucking around right now. I'm going to be honest, out of the whole entire zodiac, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a double Leo and I'm all Leo shit, and I'm Leo of Venus and all that shit, Mercury and fucking all that. But I'm just saying, I'm rising and the sun fucking, you know, I'm just saying that the only zodiac sign and rising signs that have all the 6th house of the biggest of the work, and Uranus and Taurus with a full moon are Leos. So the work is serious. The mission is serious. So, and you know what? Hermeticism comes with Mercury, and understanding the dark and the light. And that's also a new moon. The light and the shadow of the moon that come together. That's it. People who juggle because they come one-sided, or that they don't know how to see the work that's been done that you do, Leo, then do not waste a second. It's a joke. Don't waste a second. It's not worth it. It's Mercury. It should be like quick, bam, boom, yes, bam. And you know what? That's how Leos are. We don't do the whole long thing. Like, oh, let's see if it works. It's like fucking, I love you. You know what I mean? Like, that's Leos. Like, we know right away. We love you. We're instant. Like, bam. Instant coffee. But like, way better than Folgers in your cup. 10th house, Virgo, Pluto. Committed. Okay, so yeah, big mission here. Big. It's reputation too. But also trying to fit in a narrow hole of that mission it's hard. So Pluto is, you know, maybe you're married to the mission and the reality, but maybe that's going to have to be changed as that outlook. Maybe you're looking too small in that. But I would say also at the same time, though, with Pluto, the only thing to take in would be somebody whose reality fits your mission and reputation. It's important.
Yeah, taking the greatness you deserve, taking the greatness that you're putting out into the world. Never settle. I think you're good at that, Leo. We all know that. Never settle, because you have that greatness. We all have that greatness within inside of ourselves, but sometimes something clicks and we say, maybe I should just kind of give up, or maybe I should just kind of take the easy road. And that's never going to benefit us in the long run. That's never going to benefit our true mission in this life, So it is about standing up for ourselves. It is about standing in our truth, standing in our willpower, and actually pushing forward and going out and getting what it is, what we want always.
I mean, I'm to go to the reputation thing, it'd be like if I was a girl, or if there's a woman out there and they were interested in Hunter Biden right now, would you really want to go try that round? It doesn't matter if the stories are true or not, although some of the stuff that came out today, oh my God, was not what I was expecting to see. There's some crazy stuff coming out there about him. I don't know what sign is he. What sign is Hunter Biden? And then I did want to say before we go, and I know it's your birthday, Craig, I'm sure you want to go home, but I was going to just run that solar return and tell you real quick what it said. Everybody was asking. Hunter Biden is a Aquarius. Wow. Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all in his 12th house. 50 years old, 1970, Chiron return in Aries. Shit's real. And he's February 4th. So, 11, he's 15 degrees. Aquarius, and Saturn's coming up to the sun. What else does he got? Uranus next year, squaring his sun. Owie, mama, owie. Mars retrograde on his Chiron. Ouch. Not good. All right, let's see with Craigie real quick. I got him in here in my Astral Gold. I better got you in here, right, fool? Craig. And we're going to do a solar return for 34 years old. You were in Costa Mesa, I presume? Irvine, Costa Mesa, Newport? No, just like during your birthday time, like yesterday, because we are a little behind because of the leap year. Costa Mesa. What was your favorite part about your birthday today, Craig, while I pull this up? It's a nice jacket. All right. Wow. Craigie baby. I don't know if we want to show this, but look at this. Craigie, this is a big solar return for you, bro. You've got the sun on. Oh, I was going to show him with the overhead cam, but Craigie has got sun in Scorpio, of course, 2 degrees, 37 minutes. Mercury retrograde making its conjunction at 3:01 and his rising at 2 degrees Scorpio. He's a total double Scorpio in the first. It's about your own independent life. You got Venus in the 11th. You're going to meet a lot of people, especially as Venus was your 12th, spiritual people that are going to help you out. You got great aspects going on to Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn with that Venus. And the third, definitely stimulant city. You got Uranus though in that 7th house. Uranus rules your 4th. Definitely some weird emotions with relationships this year. But you have the moon in Aquarius in the 4th too, 26 degrees. And it was void off course moon. So you're going to be this year finding out what you really want. You got North Node in the 8th house, and it is squaring Neptune in the 5th. You're looking for the ultimate depth and love story, but emotionally, if it feels off and disconnected and missing, leave. Like, don't waste your time. Because then you'll just be spinning a retrograde Taurus, Uranus in the 7th house. That rules your 4th house. And the sun rules your 10th house, and it's in the 1st. It's going to be a year of big career, fame, and identity. That's the main story. Pluto, though, is the ruler of the chart, and it is with Jupiter, and it is with Saturn, your 2nd house, and your 3rd house. So you're knowing the power of your voice this year, and your voice is going to become more powerful this year, and communication is definitely your more powerful aspect. And it's in quincunx here, North Node in the 8th. That means that your buried treasure of what you're looking for this year is based upon you getting your voice out more and you focusing on your identity and your persona. Mars retrograde in the 6th. Well, you're definitely going to clean up your health. It's squaring that stuff, so in the 3rd, so you're gonna get to the culmination point of what the stress is about, and once that stress gets relieved through Mars, which could be if you do have the surgery, then your voice is gonna pop after that, dude. I think Craigie's going to be famous this year. He already is famous, but I'm saying that Craig is going to be famous. He's laying on the floor right next to me. But Craig is going to be famous this year. Well, I'm saying this is going to be the year that imprints your fame. Like, solid. Like, you actually might even come up with a name instead of just Chief Mojo Rising or Craig Skidmore. Like, you're going to think of a name, you know, like I, the Leo King, right? Like, you're going to come up with like your own name, like, bam. Especially that Mercury retrograde there too. It's going to be something that you've always wanted to do. Mercury is the ruler of your 11th, and it does co-rule your 8th. It's something that you've always wanted to be that you're going to be this year in the world. What did you want to be when you were young as a kid? Okay, so you wanted to be a hero. Rocky and a firefighter. You wanted to be a hero. You're going to be a fighter for truth. And the situation that you're going through with your back and your health is actually the thing that gets you to be that hero, if that makes sense. Like, you've gone through it, you know how to get people through anything. That's what this is all about. And you do have a dream love story. They gotta be willing to put that, they better be willing to go all the way in the deepest. They need to be able to go into, the Zen den, but the dungeon of dreams. Well, everyone, please share this video. Appreciate you all being here on highvibe.tv. Make sure that you check out as well Climax 2020. I did this video on Thursday. It's a paid video. It's for the rest of this year and what's coming into 2021. I actually go all the way to talking about the Chinese New Year that's coming on. I think that's February 11th of 2021 as we come into the Ox, the alignment of that Venus-Jupiter, Uranus square. There's so much going on, but it is a changing moment. It's a major changing of the guard. I go into so much and connecting into all the stuff I've been telling you for all the years of my predictions, from Age of Deception to Rising Through the Darkness, through Destiny's Call, through Era of Providence, fucking all of them. What 2020, what's next? All of them are all bridged to this climactic point right here. And it's time to, when we hit that climax, it's time to release. I know Craig's ready to release. I know you all are ready to release. We'll see you on High Vibe. We got awesome shows. And tomorrow, don't forget, Tuesday, Make sure that if you're on my YouTube right now, make sure, and if you're on High Vibe, we'll send you a notification. But if you're on my YouTube, I can't send you a notification. That's the power of an app, and it's free having an app. I'm going to do the show for free on the app, and I'm going to do it on my YouTube. But make sure that you subscribe and you hit the bell so you get notified. About my presidential prediction, I have to put it out for the astrology community to do it right. I have too many videos of scattered predictions all over the place, and some of them are behind my paywall. So I'm doing an exclusive on both charts and other option scenarios that I see coming. It'll probably be about an hour long. So I'm excited to do it, and I'm excited to put my official prediction out there. And I already did in Climax 2020, but I'm going to combine even more of that and here it is, because I had to do it publicly for the astrological community like I did in 2016 on Astrology Hub. I predicted Trump to win, and he did win, and everybody thought it was crazy. And only about 1 or 2% of us did. So, and right now, it's kind of funny. It's like half and half. There's about 90 astrologers on the list right now, and you're seeing about 45, 46 for Trump, 48, 49 for Biden. So, anyway, love y'all. See you tomorrow, and see you on High Vibe for your daily and much more. And happy birthday to Craig. I just want to say,
birthday wishes, everybody.
Love you very much, Craig. I hope you know we've been doing the show over a year now.
I know, I'm trippy.
And I just love you with all my heart. I just want to say from everybody at High Vibe, but also all the people that watch, that we all love you and truly appreciate you, and just hope you get better and have an amazing year and have a great birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right on. Love you all. We'll see you soon.
Love y'all.